It's the most wonderful time of the year, college football bowl season, baby. And there are 42 bowl and playoff games to keep us entertained for almost 3.5 weeks. Starting with Toledo versus Middle Tennessee State and going through the national championship on Monday, January 10th, pick your favorite WagerTalk or Sports Memo handicapper and get every college football bowl game they release, including any 5% best bets normally priced at $35 for the low price of $149. As an added bonus, make sure to download the free WagerTalk College Football Bowl Guide by going to wt.buzz/rm. From everyone at WagerTalk and Sports Memo, good luck this college football bowl season.
I got what? I'm done.
All right, guys, welcome in. It is time to visit the association here. It is the NBA Tip-Off Show, powered by WagerTalk.com here, as just 3 games on the card here tonight, but 3 intriguing games, and, of course, one that was postponed, but it was really Detroit, so not like they were going to win anyway. The Bulls and Pistons pushed back here, a little bit of rescheduled, but we are left with Madison Square Garden, of course, and the record book. So here to break down these 3 games with us here tonight, the original OG NBA Tip-Off Show crew with Ski Profit up at the top there. Tony Finn still crying and bitching. And Mike's Hard Lemonade. That's all we get from him. And Rob Vino in the house. And Ski, what is going on, my man? How was the evening? And what, if anything, do you have locked and loaded here tonight on the WagerTalk.com?
I started off the week pretty good. Yesterday, I had a 3-in-1 day. Today, I've made 2 plays so far. One of them is, up and available on my page, and the other one is also on my page as a free play. So,
all right,
go and get them.
Nice. Let's go. I love it. All right. Tony Finn, fresh off of that Embiid debacle last night. What is going on here, my friend? What do you got locked and loaded here tonight? I know you got something going on.
Yeah, I'm 20-6 in my last 26 plays. All 6 are on the Philadelphia Phillies last night in Embiid.
Nice.
So there you I got 1 NBA, 1 college. Locked, loaded, both. Both, I believe I know who's starting, who's active, I believe. But right before game time, I'm going to come see you, Joe. Make sure that everything's good. Everything's good in the world.
Yep, but at least you were on the Cleveland Indians last night. Rob Vino in the house. What is going on? Rob Vino, how are you, man? Last night, it's a pleasure. We just saw you 24 hours ago here, and we were commenting on a couple of those games last night. Some intriguing finals. The totals seem to continue to tick up here a little bit. What do you got tonight? What are you ready for here?
15 minutes, like the 15 minutes we just had before show, and I'll be ready to be committed, Joe. That's what I'll be ready for. Holy shit. For those of you who don't get to see us before this show comes on, there's going to come a day where maybe we'll put out together because, dear Lord.
I want the contract signed because I want my cut. It's worth some money. I guarantee it.
Oh, man. Your cut is the biggest, my friend. Your cut is the biggest. What the hell are we talking about here?
Dead.
I think what you got locked and loaded tonight?
I am in with 2 plays in the NBA tonight. And there's only 3 games, so I like a couple of these things. It's interesting, guys, because as these 24-hour periods go by, in every sport, we get more and more and more of these COVID cases. It makes it real dangerous to release early. Yeah. Is becoming more and more dangerous because you just don't know, as Tony mentioned last night. It is interesting to find out that we moved on from Dinwiddie to Embiid plays for the Phillies. I'll mention that.
Yeah. It's Dinwiddie. Dinwiddie.
Dear Lord.
Dinwiddie.
I'm going to let this show get started. I have 2 plays.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you. Let's just talk about the record books if we can. It is the Golden State Warriors taking on the New York Knicks. Word on the street is that ticket prices for this game have gone absolutely through the roof. And it's kind of been like that all week as there was a number of people betting, in fact, that this was the game. As much as 2-1 people were getting last week that Madison Square Garden would be the place in which Steph Curry breaks the record here tonight. The game, well, it's interesting. 3.5 here is what the open was. The total of 211.5. And, of course, we've seen, we know that New York, no Obi Toppin, right? No R.J. Barrett and the protocols there. Grimes, I believe, also in there. But the Golden State Warriors appear to be, pretty much a full go here tonight. So what do you think, Ski? Any way you could look to back the dog Knicks here, or is it Golden State or pass for you?
Well, first of all, the Warriors are getting the WNBA treatment as far as travel issues. They didn't get to go last night. I think they had to do something today, and Draymond's just been crying about it on Twitter all day long. So I've been following it along, and we'll see if it affects their performance tonight. From a side perspective here, Joe, I really don't like playing teams in the back-to-back that were just like on the road. It's just one of the hardest situations to play in the NBA, and I try my hardest to stay away from it. Now, with that said, New York has been pretty terrible lately, in my opinion. So if I want to take the Warriors, maybe I get them early. I know the Knicks are 2-11-1 against the spread in the first half at the house. Maybe they can get out to a hot start. Curry gets that record early, and they cruise. You get in and get out. But I think I would prefer the total. And it's tough because I'm not sure that I'll get there with it either. But Golden State, 12-3-1 under the total their last 16 games. Not a lot offensively there for New York. I know they're still missing R.J. Barrett, or they're going to miss R.J. Barrett for this game. I think it can stay under. But you see the jersey I'm wearing. I'm not going to be that guy, at the casino cheering for an under when Steph Curry's splashing threes all over the place. So I'll probably pass.
All right, gonna pass with it. But the big question, Ski, does he get it done tonight?
Oh yeah, he needs to. That'll be done in the first 3 minutes.
All right. Well, strange things happen in Madison Square Garden here. What do you think here, Tony, Finn? It's a tough spot. It's a tough spot for both of these teams. Golden State's flight, of course, was canceled, delayed. They weren't able to get here until this morning from Indiana last night. Those private jets takes a lot to get clearance, I think. So what do you think, Tony, Finn? Are you buying the Golden State Warriors stock tonight, or do you think the Knicks might shock the world?
No, I'm buying. I think I passed on the first. Well, I shouldn't say I passed, but I certainly didn't push all in on the first two games. I thought we talked a little bit about this last week. The first game I thought was a fiasco. I expected more from Kerr and a professional team like Golden State than to get out there and shoot around like it was a ball, basically a parking lot, a rim, a backboard on a rim. And tonight, I think it's the exact opposite. They're at MSG. It is the game he will go over. He's going to be better than 9 for 31 from deep over the last two games. Golden State's going to be better, and the Knicks are going to be who the Knicks are. And this is a better defensive team than Golden State. Let's put it this way. 117 points, I think, per 100 possessions, what the Golden State's been giving up over this little losing streak they have. They're better than that. I think they come to their senses. I think even Curry talked about it a little bit, saying, listen, I wish I'd never addressed this in the media or personally, and we wouldn't be where we are, pushing on Golden State tonight. That's who I like.
All right, going Golden State here. Dino, what do you think here? You leaning I don't even know what to think here. Knicks first half, are we going back to the unders? You think it's just going to be points, get them early? What do you think here?
Well, there's a lot to unpack in this one, right, Joe? And then it just really matters what side of the fence you stand on is, what's more important to you. And that's probably where you go. I mean, to offset Golden State's travel issues certainly is the COVID protocol that now has hit the New York Knicks extremely hard. They played 9 guys on Sunday, and one of those was Miles McBride, who only played 46 seconds. So basically, they only had an 8-man rotation. It's all they'll have today is an 8-man rotation. So again, Golden State's bench, I thought this last night that Golden State's bench would take advantage second quarter. Didn't really work out that way. Indiana held them off. But even if we include last night's numbers, 8 of the last 11 games, Golden State has allowed 48 points or less first half in 8 of the 11. So the defense has been there. I'd expect the offense to be there a little more here tonight. The Knicks have been a first half disaster. Remember last year it was always Knicks first half, just, wake up and play it. This year it's the other way, wake up and fade the Knicks first half. They're now 1-9 against the spread first half, their last 10 games at home. And they're 0-4 in their last 4. It's gotten worse for them. They've lost all 4 by between 11 and 18 points. Tonight you got to lay 2.5. They've allowed 57 or more in every single one of those 4 first halves. So to me, Warriors first half minus 2.5 looks like a pretty good way to go. But the under trend also has been really, really big here. Golden State road 8-1 under last 9 games. It's currently a 7-0 streak inside of that 8-1. They've only had, and in those 7, they've all played to under 207 or less.
Wow.
Here we're looking at 211, I think. So, full game under, Golden State first half. I just prefer Golden State first half, where I think they'll get out quick. And like I say, the Knicks haven't been good early on in games at all.
Yeah, no, the first half definitely way to go. He gets the record, he gets it out of the way, they can breathe, and then who knows how much we're going to get in the second half here. But if Julius Randle, if he don't show up tonight, going to be a long evening for the New York Knicks for sure. And just a reminder here, guys, I believe Klay Thompson and Wiseman are in the G League now. Is that Ski? Is that correct? I believe they are. Have been cleared and are beginning to play games. So, wow. Just wow. Golden State, the rich keep getting richer. Speaking of, how about this game? Toronto and Brooklyn tonight. With all of the COVID protocols, 2 names that are not on there. Well, you know the 2 names there. Kevin Durant, James Harden will be in the lineup for Brooklyn here tonight. Toronto, second of a back-to-back, but did they really play hard last night, Ski? It was just an absolute blowdown of the newest member of your, oh, hell no list, the Sacramento Kings here. So what do you think? Is 8.5 too much here at this game, or do you like Brooklyn to get it done?
Well, it's not 8.5 anymore, is it? Or did it go back up? Because I know it was 8.5, it went down to about 5.
Yeah, hold on one second. Well, that was the open. Yeah, so 5.5.
Okay. I think at that number, still getting Harden and Durant, I probably will play them. I talked earlier, like I don't really want to play teams on back-to-backs on the road. I know Toronto was at home yesterday, but I kind of think it's a home team type of night tonight. I'll talk about this one from the total a little bit, though. I look at the last 2 weeks from both teams. They're combined, I think, 9-4 to the under. The Raptors, I know, 3-1 to the under without rest. And I just think of this game like Raptors bottom 5 in pace the last 5 games. They're top 10 in defense, both teams. And are the Nets really going to want to play up tempo when they don't have that many bodies available tonight? So I think it's more of an slow under type game myself.
I believe Aldridge out. If I'm seeing this correctly here tonight, but Durant, Harden is still in there. Millsap also out here, so certainly a short bench for the Brooklyn Nets. But is it going to matter that much there, Tony Finn, against this Toronto team?
No, it's not. There's a lot of people questionable at this point in time. I just kind of passed this over because I thought maybe it's best to come to you. But 15 minutes before the game, and you can tell me everything was going on. Even everyone's listed for Brooklyn. Everyone's listed from what I understand. Correct me if I'm wrong. Brooklyn, Durant, and Harden will be on the floor tonight. They will be on together. But if you look at their injury list right now, Durant, Aldridge, Bembry, Carter, Harris, Irving. We know Irving, Johnson, Millsap, all listed is out except for one. I didn't say hard. Is Durant? He's the only one that says it's a game time decision. I understand he'll start. The same as for Toronto, although everybody's out for Toronto, right? And show you that there's Banton, Birch, Dragic, Johnson, and Joe. This isn't even a game. I mean, what Toronto did last night was against Sacramento, and I think Ski spelled it pretty right. They're playing a little. They're trying to play slower. They're not near as defensive as they were the first week or 2 weeks of the season, when all of a sudden we thought, wow, we know Toronto's not going to be able to score much, especially with the injury they have. They're going to be defensive. But that's changed. This turn has done 180. So last night they were pretty good. They were pretty darn good. 1.165 points per possession in non-garbage time. 1.3458 points per play. That's fantastic. That's not happening against Brooklyn. Brooklyn, this number here is fair. If you're on this game, you should be on Brooklyn.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the lineups here, Rob, Vino. I don't know. Are we seeing a ton of points involved in this game, or is this another one? Maybe look at the first half and get out.
Well, I think you could almost do both, Joe. I agree with virtually everything Ski pointed to towards the under here. I'll add to it in a second here. Just real quick off the top, the Nets, and the assumption here is Kevin Durant will play, bad ankle or not. That being said, again, to what Ski pointed out, do you really want to go quick pace with Kevin Durant partially injured and on the floor with everything else that's missing? They're going to go with 8 guys, and you got Durant, Bruce Brown, Claxton, Patty Mills, and James Harden. Those 5 will start for them. And the bench is Cam Thomas, Providence's own David Duke Jr., and Blake Griffin has now been yanked off of the out of the rotation list into we need you for 9 minutes or so last game, maybe a couple of more here. Bench is thin. Nets will probably play slow. It's their first game back off of a road trip. We've talked about that a little bit. I think they just come off a 4-game road trip. The Raptors' minutes were limited last night. Siakam, 32. He played the most. Only Gary Trent Jr. played over 30, so I think they're fairly fresh. Their bench is deeper. But to Tony's point, what they did to the Kings last night, that bench for Toronto goes 22 of 36, 61% from the floor. Their bench is horrendous, but they still shot 61% and scored 53 points. That ain't happening against the Nets. I'm going to get to these under trends real quick here because I think this game, if you play it first half under 109.5, that sounds good. I do see as we're doing this show that there's a couple places going up on full game total, which surprises me. The Nets are 5-1 under this month of December. That's good. The Raptors have shot 45% or less last 8 games from the field. That's not good, so that fits into playing under. The Nets are 3-9-1 against the spread at home, 0-5 against the spread their last 5. And Kevin Durant, if I can pull a Teddy Covers real quick, here's a quote from Kevin Durant about winning at home. We want to start building that advantage for ourselves. That starts in the regular season, our fans getting on board with us and going out there and giving them a great product out there on the floor. That is our main focus now. Take care of home. So maybe they play hard here at home, but it doesn't mean it can't be a low-scoring game. Toronto also with a little bit of motivation. They're trying to climb to 500 for the first time in quite some time. Nets first halves. We talked about the Knicks being bad in the first half. Nets have been the same. 1-7 against the spread last 8 games first half. 3-10 in their last 13, 2-6 at home, last 8 home games. So that would add up to maybe Toronto first half. I don't think there's a lot of points here, guys. I think first half under is good. I think full game under is good. And you can take the side for what it's worth. But that's the way I'd look. I'd probably look under here.
Yeah, Advanced Fleet also not exactly shooting lights out. 19 of his last 57 here in the last 4 games. So not great. Don't think we're going to see a ton of points in here. But to Rob's point, though, it is starting to creep up here a little bit. 216s are popping up in the marketplace. And that leaves us, of course, with one last game here. And that game is going to be West Coast Degenerate Special here, 10 o'clock Eastern Time tip, with the Phoenix Suns on the second of a back-to-back, taking on the Portland Trailblazers. And this game opened up 2.5 for the Phoenix Suns, who got beat a little shorthanded last night, got beat by the Clippers. I'm seeing 1.5s in a lot of spots with a total of 219. So the total creeping up a little bit, and I guess that's to be expected. It looks like Lillard is a go in this one, Ski, but Phoenix, they're going to be shorthanded. I don't know if DeAndre Ayton is a go or not a go, or what you've heard with this, but coming out of that game last night, what kind of Suns team are we going to get here?
It's the same kind of feeling for me here. First of all, roll back to back. There's a lot of guys on the injury list for Phoenix. I don't think Ayton's going to play, and I just think Phoenix just want to get back home. If they lose this game, it's just they're 21-6. Portland, it's a little bit more sense of urgency, and they've been better all year at the house. I think they're 10-5 compared to whatever their terrible road record is. It might be like 1-10 or something like that. Lillard back in the lineup. I just think it's a fade Phoenix spot. I did look it up, a little situation like this, and I played it yesterday on the Celtics. It's going to be restless road teams versus an opponent off of a loss. As far as the database goes back, which is 1995, they're 41.8% straight up. This season, they're 6-17 straight up and 7-15-1 against the spread. That says fade Phoenix Suns tonight.
Yeah, I guess if Ayton is a no-go here, and it was a non-COVID issue, it was an illness is what they listed it as there, Tony Finn. If he's not going tonight, it almost feels like, do we really want to go against Portland at home? It's the only place they can actually win games here. How are you leaning in this one?
Well, I'm not touching this game. Mostly, even if Ayton was playing, I don't trust, to Ski's points, I don't know. I don't think the Suns. I think they're a pretty competitive group, and while we can't, we got to kind of look to gift horse in the mouth periodically. They're so competitive that I think that they'll go all out, even if the situation was as Ski explained, and it is that way. They will be one loss, but they played 9 guys double-digit minutes last night that weren't Ayton and weren't very good, right, against a Clippers team that they let Clippers score 111 points. That's not good. That's just not good. And if Lillard's at it tonight, they are much better at home. This is a game where I think I'm staying away, but I think if you're in this game, I think you need to be on Portland. As bad as they've been that much better at home, as Ski mentioned. So I'm not in this game. I run and scream like a girl before I'm going to put any money on this game, but I agree with him.
So I'm seeing Nurkic, Nance Jr., Little, Norm Powell, and Damian Lillard starting 5 for Portland here tonight. The same looks like the same starting 5 for Phoenix as last night here, Rob. So I guess maybe is it just a matter of whether Ayton plays or doesn't play for you on how you look at this?
Yeah, there was a half a second this afternoon, Joe, where Devin Booker was actually listed as to be determined. But he's since been ruled out, so you can forget Devin Booker here. And, the DeAndre Ayton question mark is still out there. We don't know. But it's a really tough game to get involved with. The only thing I can say is Monty Williams praised his team for the way they fought through a shorthanded roster last night. But as Ski said, now you have to do it back-to-back nights. I don't know if they can do it back-to-back nights. It's not the same personnel. Especially defensively, to Tony's point, line 111. Talk about Phoenix being shorthanded last night. So were the Clippers. And the Clippers weren't exactly fully stacked, and they waxed this team. I think if you're Portland, at some point in time, you got to start putting together wins. And when you're handed an advantage like this, a shorthanded Phoenix team, then you have to take advantage. I was reading a couple of quotes from Damian Lillard where he so much has said so. His first game back was the other night. He goes 3 of 14 from 3. I would expect that to get better here. I don't know if Phoenix has an answer for that on their side of the floor. Total-wise, man, it would look like another under, but I hate to play an under in any Portland game, so I won't. If I had to, if this were a game that was, you must play, I think I would lean Portland at home because it's just a game that they have to take advantage of here. I know that needing to win doesn't mean you will win, but I do think that the need here is way more in Portland's court than it is in Phoenix's.
Yeah, and I love the angle with Ski, too, with the rest versus no rest in this spot in a game that, Portland needs to get. You can't win on the road, so you better win these games at home here tonight, especially if they're going to be shorthanded, the Phoenix Suns. No Bulls and Pistons. That game has been postponed. So we'll start up at the top again here. Ski, talk to us of these 3 games. Is there a side total prop you like a little more than the others?
Well, I have a list of games that pretty much my short list, as Teddy calls it, from this morning. And like I said before the show, I played 2 games. I'm a roll with one that I kind of got the extra little push with on the show from Mr. Ravino, and it's gonna be Golden State first half, man.
Ooh,
Get out early. The Knicks have been terrible in the first half. I think he said 1-9 the last 10. I have 2-11-1. I think at home on the season, and Golden State's be up by margin early and get in and get out before like that trend that I mentioned for the fade Phoenix. It's also active to fade Golden State today, but I'm not going to be the guy fading Curry and Golden State on this night when he's going to break the record. So I'm gonna get in and get out Golden State first half.
Yeah, I'm thinking, looking at the prop for, I think, Steph tonight, too. What is it, 36.5 points, rebounds, and assists tonight in this game. Feels like he could absolutely just go off here. Sounds like a 40-point kind of night here. What do you think, Tony Finn? Which one of these games are you looking at that you might be leaning towards?
Golden State, not only first half, Golden State first half and second half and game. Listen, if and I agree with these guys, but here's my question: if you like Golden State in the first half here, and they're up by margin, this is not a Knicks team. Golden State's gonna have to lay down and quit. This is not a team that's got enough wind, enough players, enough legs, or enough talent to outscore Golden State's second unit by 15 points. Let's say they're up by double digits. Absolutely, Golden State first half, Golden State game. I like it.
Golden State across the board here. What do you think, Rob Vino? Which is that where you're leaning here, Golden State?
Well, I do like them, and I especially like them first half here after what happened last night. They really didn't get out to a good start, and I think they'll, rectify that here in this game. But since those two guys talked about that one, I'll go to the Toronto game against the Nets. I just think, that game screams under to me, and I really don't care which way you play it, first half or full game. But for sake of the show, I'll use full game here. One thing that I didn't mention earlier was the Nets and their slow starts. And James Harden was quoted as saying, we would love to get off the quicker starts. However, we understand it's a long season, blah, 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 blah. And it almost sounds like we really don't care. I mean, part of that quote was, as long as we give ourselves a chance to win the game. So they don't mind getting behind. They don't mind being lackluster. They've got a short rotation here tonight. But one thing about them, like I say that I didn't mention earlier, is their fourth quarter defense has been amazing in these games where they've come from behind. And it seems like Steve Kerr just hits that switch and tells his guys, okay, we got a D up now, let's go. And if that's the case, I like under 216.5 here. Toronto is by no means an offensive juggernaut. They can be held to less than 20.25. Give me Toronto Nets under 216.5 full game.
Oh, I like that. All right, good stuff there. So if we had to go shits and giggles here with the parlay tonight, what are we looking at? Golden State, Brooklyn, and Portland. Is that a consensus here, guys? We just go with the favorites here, make it a chalky ass evening, and enjoy. And by the way, Ski, I don't know if you see it. Harden's points tonight, I think his point prop was about 24, 25, somewhere in that ballpark. It just feels like he's going to have he's got to have a good night if they're going to win by 5, right?
I would expect them to, but when I'm expecting the game to go under, I don't want to be on too many over point props. Maybe I'll look at Harden rebounds or something.
Okay. And it seems a little low here, but we'll and I don't know why it looks like the market is starting to trend to the over in that game, which is a little strange as well. But 3 games on the card, guys. Opportunities present themselves, and the record books look like they will be thrown open here tonight with Steph Curry needing just 2 to pass Ray Allen, and chances are it'll probably happen rather quickly here in the first quarter. So then they can go on and just blow out the New York Knicks. So there you got it here, guys. Do not forget, though, Ski Profit. as well as Tony Finn, as well as Rob Vino here. It is a lot going on here. You got college hoops tonight. You've got bowl games beginning this week. You got week 15 of the NFL. A lot of NBA, a lot of ways to make it a profitable week, guys. It starts by going to get one of those 3-day, 7-day, 30-day all-access packages. You'll get every one of their plays across all sports, including their 5% best bets. This is a great, and I mean a great time of year to start putting in a few extra bucks for those holiday gifts that you're going to be out going to get. It's a great way to do it, guys. 3-day, 7-day, 30-day all-access packages available. Hop over to Ski's page, Tony Finn's page, and Rob Dino's page, and make it a ho, 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 Tony Finn. That's what we're talking about. Hit that bell in the upper right-hand corner. Shits and giggles tonight. We're going all chalk. That's it. We're going to go Houston. I'm sorry, Robert. I didn't mean Houston, because we're going to be fading Houston from here on out. We're going to go Brooklyn. We're going to go Portland. And we are going to go the Golden State Warriors. Guys, that's your Shits and Giggles parlay. In the meantime, hit that bell in the upper right-hand corner. We'll fade Houston tomorrow. Come back and join us, guys. Best of luck with your plays here tonight. We'll talk to you again then. Good luck.
Founded in 1957, the Gold Sheet is the country's longest-running sports betting newsletter. Each week, the Gold Sheet team delivers analysis on NFL and college football games, along with NBA and college basketball matchups. The Gold Sheet maintains in-depth point spread and results logs, giving sports bettors and enthusiasts the insights needed to maximize their wagers. For over 60 years, Gold Sheet readers have received key releases based on power rankings on all teams, and for the first time ever, you can now get these selections exclusively at goldsheet.com, wagertalk.com, and sportsmanmode.com.